Hello students, we have already finished the first part of the chapter, The Sound of Music. I have also given you the question answers in the WhatsApp group. So today we will start with the second part of the chapter, that is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So this part is about the Indian legendary Bismillah Khan. He was a renowned Shehnai player in India. So I have already told you about him in the introduction session. So now let's start. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. So students, at the very first here it is described about the musical instrument called pungi. So pungi was a musical instrument which was there before the Shehnai was introduced. Okay. So there was time in the past. There was a time in the past when the Mughals ruled India. They ruled before the Britishers came, and there was a very famous Mughal ruler named Aurangzeb. And what did he do? He did not allow the pungi to be played in his royal residence because he felt that the musical instrument pungi made a very unpleasant sound and a very sharp kind of a sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. So here it is said that any musical instrument which is made with reeds, like we have flutes, clarinets, etc. So all these musical instruments made with reeds are classified as pungi. So pungi is a term or a name which is used for any type of instrument which uses wind to produce sound. Now, few had thought that it would one day be revived. So here students, as Aurangzeb has banned all these reeded noisemakers, means the sharp sounding musical instruments, as he has banned all these, so no one thought that one day such noisemakers or such musical instruments which made unpleasant sound, so nobody thought that these musical instruments would be played someday. They would be revived someday, and nobody thought that someday the audience or the people would like the sound of these musical instruments. Now, a barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. So now, as the pungi had an unpleasant sound, as the pungi had a very sharp kind of a sound, there was a barber who belonged to a family of professional musicians, and he was allowed to enter the royal palace, so he wanted to play the pungi. Okay, this barber wanted to play the pungi. He knew that the pungi made an unpleasant and very sharp kind of a sound, and that is why he decided something. He decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Means the barber decided to improve the sound quality of the pungi as he wanted to play it. So what did the barber do? Then to improve the sound quality of the pungi, he took a pipe which was a hollow stem which was empty from inside. It was longer and broader than the pungi. Then he made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. And now, after preparing the pipe, when the barber played it, when he blew air into the pipe and closed and opened different holes, he was playing it just like we play bahi, we play the flute. So when the barber played it, it produced very soft and melodious sounds. Now, He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. So when the barber played this instrument in the royal court, everyone was impressed by the sound it produced. Everybody liked the sound. Now, the instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a nai, means barber, the instrument was named the Shehnai. So now, the sound produced by this instrument is not like before. It is soft and melodious and not like the unpleasant and very sharp sound of the pungi anymore. So as the sound made by the instrument was different from the sound of pungi, so this instrument should have a different name also. So now there is a story behind the name given to this instrument. See, as this instrument was played for the first time in the royal residence of the Shah, Shah means name given to the king. Okay, so the Mughals called the king as Shah, and as the instrument was first played by a barber who is called a nai in India. Nai is the Indian term used for a barber, we all know. So that is why this instrument was named as Shehnai. Now, the sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. So the sound of Shehnai or the sound produced by Shehnai was considered to be a good sign. Okay, and that is why it was played on good occasions, and it is said that it is still played, or we can hear Shehnai being played at many temples and also at North Indian weddings. It is an indispensable part of the North Indian weddings, that in North Indian weddings one cannot left out the Shehnai. Okay, that is why Shehnai is still played at many temples, and as well as it is also an important part of the North Indian weddings. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat, or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. So earlier, Shehnai was a part of the Naubat. It is said that Shehnai was earlier a part of the Naubat. Now, what is Naubat? Naubat is an Urdu word and it means traditional ensemble. That means a traditional group of 9 musical instruments. So earlier, these 9 musical instruments were played at the royal court. Okay, and Shehnai was also a part of these 9 musical instruments. Means Shehnai was also then a part of Naubat. Now, till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So now, here it is said that the Shehnai was first played at the king's court, then in temples and at weddings. But then it was used on stage performances, and the whole credit for bringing Shehnai to the stage and making Shehnai an instrument for stage performances. So this whole credit for bringing Shehnai to the stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Okay, he was a legendary Shehnai player of India, and people loved and wanted to hear him play the Shehnai. Okay, so students, we will stop here for now and we'll continue in the next session.